his patients receive the services, you might have received it as well. That's the problem. Children only receive the service. It's not a service provided for adults. He should have not even informed you of that, because that's not something you qualify for, and that's not something that he can, qualify or be a witness to that you're needing. It doesn't work that way. It's only a service provided for children. It's not provided for adults. Again, like I said, it's not, there's not anybody you can speak to override that. That's part of the state rules. So we can always try, but it's, like I said, it's like 90% that it will be denied. Now, the excessive miles, that's another deal. Anybody can have an excessive miles paperwork filled out. That's for just your trip being over a certain amount of mileage. We need that approval for everybody. That has to be done once you have the appointment scheduled. Once you have a date actually scheduled, time and location, then you can call in, schedule the trip, and we can go ahead and start the paperwork all over again. But airfare most likely is not going to be an option for you.
Today, I'm going to talk about something. I'm sorry for the tears. That shouldn't happen. It's not right. I just got off the phone with some insurance people. I was scheduled to have my airfare taken care of by insurance. And they had assured me if I got documentation that I needed, they would pay for the airfare so that I could have a surgery done in New York. Excuse me. And so it's closer to the date. So I called to confirm that they had gotten all the paperwork. And they said it was denied. And I said, I don't understand. This paperwork was filled out perfectly. Every justification was in there. That I needed this operation. That it was medically necessary. That without it, I wouldn't survive. Everything under the sun was put in this paperwork. And she said, well, the airfare, the mileage is not it. We'll take you anywhere, but we don't do airfare. We don't do transportation like that because you're over 21. We only help children. And I explained that I'm disabled. I have no transportation on my own. There would be no way to get to New York by myself. That was in the documentation too. That I don't drive. I would need someone to accompany me. And while at the hospital, I would need 24/7 care. And she basically said, well, I don't know why your doctor would even fill this paperwork out because you're not a child. Doesn't matter if you're disabled. It doesn't matter if you need this to live. It doesn't matter about quality of life or quantity of life. Whatever was in the documentation, it was denied because you're not a child. You're over 21, so your benefits don't matter. Your benefits change. And I said, well, is there an appeals process? She said, yes, there is an appeals process, but I'm going to tell you that there's 90% chance that you're going to get denied. I said, well, is there anyone I can speak to? This person said, no. There's nothing you can do about it. You are an adult. Your benefits change. It doesn't matter if nothing else changed. Your benefits are removed. And there's nothing you or anyone can do about it. Have a wonderful day. Now, I don't understand. And this isn't just for me. This is for people all over. You have a child with a disability, and suddenly they turn 18 or they turn 21. Nothing else changes. But insurances don't cover them. They don't care anymore. You're an adult. It's sad. There's nothing to be done. And this is a travesty. I don't understand why things are done for children with disabilities that are not covered for adults with disabilities. This isn't right. This is the same person that you justify life for because they're under a certain age, but not because they're over a certain age. Do we have an expiration date? We're not cute anymore? We don't look good on a billboard or a poster or a PSA campaign? What's the justification? Do we find some merit in a child with a disability that we don't in an adult with a disability? There are already so many services for adults with disabilities that are not run properly, that are underfunded, under budget, because that's where the value is taken away. Something needs to be done. I need to figure out what I'm going to do personally. But this is just heartbreaking. That you're told that you've reached the point where the state doesn't care any longer. We're done with you for those services. You get some, but because you've reached the median of over 21 but under 65, you don't exist. And someone needs to look at this seriously. And these people matter. This population matters. This is the most vulnerable population. And no one is saying anything. I wish I could tell you to sign something or do something, but like that nice woman on the phone said, there's nothing anyone can do about this. If you have any ideas, please, I commend you, please write them in the comments. Do something. Protests in Washington, something. But there's an injustice here. And it's not just for me, it's for everyone. So I'm just putting that out there, that parents with children with disabilities who struggle and panic over the smallest things, and then they say to people who have adults with disabilities, well, you don't understand this and you don't understand this. But raising an adult with a disability is a whole other animal, and there just needs to be more support. There has to be. And even for advocates, I'm not even talking about people who can't advocate for themselves. I tried. I said, what can I do? Help me. And I was basically said, you're over 21, you're an adult. There's nothing you can do. Live with it. And it's just so scary. Because you spend all that time trying to teach your child with a disability to speak for themselves, to advocate for themselves, and when they reach a certain age, say their voice is gone. It's like, well, you don't matter. There's nothing you can do. No paperwork, no speech, no appeals claim, nothing. It's, you're a person with a disability. This is what we're giving you. Nothing more, nothing less. Because you're not a child anymore. welcome to adulthood. Thank you for listening.